Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I've got an English accent all of a sudden. I don't know why.
He's turned to one of us, but we are back. We are here. We have returned, and we are united against Scientology. Thank you so much for joining. I very quickly have lost my voice, but I thought let's do a recap on today. Thank you so much to everyone who showed up in the live chat. We had 1,100 people there at any one time, most of the time, which was really amazing. For those of you who have missed that video, where have you been? We've been protesting outside the IAS event down in East Grinstead. This is Jeff, PTS for life. And obviously, I'm imposter Alex. How are you guys doing? Thank you for joining us. Like, what a day.
Oh my God.
How are you feeling?
So good. So good.
It's like,
love it.
Honestly, blown me away. We had 46 people show up, which is, we were like about 50 people is what I was thinking. But I thought in reality, you never know, on the day, it might end up being like 20 people. But yeah, 46 at the start for our march, which in itself was huge. So that makes it the largest anti-Scientology protest in the UK for like 15 years since the anonymous protests. Which is mad. Like, I didn't think that we'd actually pull that off. But
to be fair, I actually kind of thought like, oh man, I hope it's not just me and Alex.
But even if it was, we would have had a good time.
Yes.
We would have been all right. But no, we showed up and we met up in East Grinstead and we did a march. I know there were some issues with the stream early on in the day. There were issues with the microphone, and also St. Hill is in the middle of nowhere, so the connection was really bad. I did have 4G, but I think there was so many people trying to, stream, and like people on their phones and stuff, and like the data, it was a bit choppy. So sorry for that, but thank you for kind of bearing with us, everybody. It was mad. We met in East Grinstead. We marched down the high street and then along to past all the Scientology properties. And when we got to the top of St. Hill Road, we had a police escort because the road was meant to be closed and then it was cancelled. And then it was found out that the police didn't actually cancel it. And so the council then reinstated the road closure first thing this morning and actually extended it until 10 p.m. However, that was kind of too late for us to be able to like do anything about it because we hadn't, arranged the roadblocks and all of this. So what we arranged was the police gave us an escort. So they paused traffic and they put a big police van behind us with the blue lights on, and police officers on the side and at the front escorting us down the road into position. And we arrived just as Tom Cruise showed up in his helicopter, which I think is perfect timing.
We saw it. We looked up and like, that's definitely Tom Cruise or Dave Miscavige or maybe both.
Or Mickey Witz, or both. And it turns out it was Tom Cruise, and it was amazing. We made it into the Daily Mail, which is the largest news organization on the planet. It's not the best in terms of its journalism, but it does reach a lot of people. It mentions the protests. It had more pictures of the protests than I was expecting, which is great.
I'm right on
Jeff made it front page news.
David Miscavige himself. He was, if you look really closely on the picture, he's hanging on to the banner, trying to spread some love himself, which is not his normal way of doing things.
That was, I think, the funniest. We got the most laughs from Scientologists from their little, the little David Miscavige, Captain Davy Dole thing that you can get from Blown for Good from Mark and Claire Headley. We had one of those attached to one of our protest signs, and it was dancing around. And so many Scientologists looked at that and laughed because it's so clearly David Miscavige dancing around. Like, there was the London coach arrived. For context, normally London has 3 coaches for staff and for public. Today it had 1 coach, and even that wasn't filled up. So the attendance was appalling from a Scientology perspective. But when they pulled up and we were like dancing around with David Mickowitz, there was a guy at the back of the bus who was laughing. He found it so funny.
Yeah, I just kept pushing it. So we were standing like next to the cars because there was so much traffic. Like, they were going not even walking speed. They would just stop.
How do any of us see our voices?
No.
Davey napping after all his dancing. Yeah, he's taking a little pit stop out back.
He's very tired. He's having a nap.
Yeah.
But I would just hold it, and it was actually strapped to my placard pole. And so I would go up to the car and I would start dancing him while sending a message. I mean, the kids loved it for sure. But the amount of adults are like, And they were like, I could see some guys were like, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh. Keep your TRs in, keep your TRs in. Don't look. And you look at their eyes like, oh, and they start laughing. So good.
I think it was like, I don't know quite how to say this, but there is no way today was not considered a major flap in Scientology, because firstly, there were more of us than I think they were expecting, more than I was expecting. It's a huge protest in Scientology terms. So that in itself was a major flap. They tried to keep us far away from the property. They were liaising with the police and the council for the last couple of weeks. And this is all stuff that I haven't been able to say before because I didn't want to give anything away. They had a whole penned area set up, like way up the road, that they wanted us to be in. I knew that was happening. I knew they were going to try and keep us there. But I was like, I'm just going to have to convince the police on the day of what we're going to do, because they want to be able to say to Scientology, yes, it's fine, it's fine. So when we showed up, they were in this little penned area that was like way up middle of nowhere. And I took the police officer down that I've been liaising with, and I said, look, this is where we want to be, right outside the gates. It's public land. And now you see how many of us there are and how wide this space is. It's perfectly safe. And she was like, yeah, no problem. So we were escorted down past the gates, and we were literally right there by the gates on the verge. And I think that really, really annoyed Scientology, understandably. And I think from the start, it was a major flap. We were shouting and cheering so loud that they could hear us on the property. There was also a problem with parking. So they filled up their car park closest to St. Hill quickest, because they were expecting us to be in a different place. So they filled that car park up first. But the problem is we moved. And so when that car park got filled up and they started using the other one, they all had to walk past us.
It was amazing. I think we reached about 80% of the attendees of this event walking right by us or driving right by us.
Yeah.
But
we hit them twice, because they had to drive past us and then park up and then walk up past us again.
Yeah. And I was like, see you soon.
Yeah.
It was so good. I think, like the major flap is that we completely outsmarted them with their, like they had us, we would have seen basically nobody. There was a few people that parked down the road on that end. But as soon as we heard that they had planned this convenient place for us to be, we knew that they didn't want us to be on this side, and Alex made it happen. So
I think that I knew these were the games that were playing, because I've been in talks with these guys for like 4 weeks, and I'm like, I have this plan, I know what we're going to do, but I cannot let on to anybody that this is how it's going to work out on the day, because I knew that they'd come up with some way of stopping it from happening. And we planned it just right, because the grass verge, you don't know this, I've told you this, when I went down with the police, like to show them the area, there were Scientology realized, so they had started to get public to park up on the verge, and the police was there, and the police officer went up and said, no, you can't park here, you can't park here. And the guys were like, oh no, but we've been told to park here. And the police officer was like, no, this is being used now for something else, you cannot park here, please move your vehicle. And they were giving it all that, and then like the police lady, Karina, she was lovely, she was like, no, you have to leave, I'm a police officer, go. And so she's held the area for us to stop cars parking on that verge, which is just amazing.
She was really amazing, and so polite and understanding of what we were trying to do. So it's so nice to have someone who's actually useful.
I think that's the thing, like I've been the time I spent the last few weeks organizing it all is like talking to all these people, making it really clear. The message of compassion was really important as well. And when I spoke to them on the phone the other day, they were like, these are the rules, this is what you have to do. And I was like, look, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. And I know you're not going to believe me until you meet me on the day, but we are not going to be a problem. We are not violent. It's not like a political protest. Like, we're here because we want to help these people. I personally, and I'm not just saying this as an anti-Scientologist, they are going to be the biggest problem for you on this day. And they kind of understood over the phone, but when they got there on the day, I think it was really clear for the police that no, they were so happy with us. They were totally on our side, protecting us, and kind of, let us get away with a few things that we shouldn't have got away with in terms of like running across the road and that sort of stuff. But it was like that stuff that they said to me beforehand, please don't do this. We did it anyway. But I think because like we were so good and we weren't in the way or putting anyone in danger, I think it was fine. But Scientology were really not happy. There was a point when that they called the police and said that we were hurling abuse at them and harassing them. And I was there at the time when this happened. And so the police, who were literally just like, 10, 15 meters away, just walked down because they're there with us. And they were like, what's going on? And then I had a debrief with them afterwards. They're like, oh yeah, they said you were hurling abuse. And we went down and we realized, no, you're absolutely not. You're absolutely fine.
Yeah, there was a police officer who approached me. So after the stream, it was dark.
It got better after the stream.
So much better.
I wish I was still streaming, but like the connection was really bad and it got dark. But it like when I stopped streaming, that's when all the fun began.
Because we decided, you know what, it's too dark over here.
Yeah.
Because we're on like the country lane part, and then we moved over to the gates. There was only about 3 or 4 of us. Actually, no, about 5. Weren't supposed to have that many people there, but we were out of the way.
I told them it would be no more than 3 people by the gate, and it was more like 6, but it's fine.
So I've got my placard, and I've got Davey strapped to my placard, and we're just approaching all the cars because they can't move.
Yeah.
Right. And then who was there? Janet Laveau.
Oh yeah, so Janet Laveau, guys, is the managing director of the Church of Scientology in the UK and in Ireland. So she is the most important person in Scientology in the United Kingdom. She used to be the head of OSA, the Office of Special Affairs, and she's been promoted. She is now the CEO, commanding officer of the whole of the UK. She reports directly to David Miscavige, and she was there on the gates. And of course, we just showed her all of the love that we have for her. We said, "Hi, Janet, how are you? We love you." And she was getting angrier and angrier. And then you showed up, who she knows.
I have a history with her. Like when I was younger, I was involved in DSA, and she was in Canada, and because she's Canadian. And so she knows me. She knows my dad. She knows everything. And so I just said, "Hi, Janet. Hi, Janet." And I was trying to get her attention. Of course, she didn't respond because her TR0 is on point. But man, was that funny.
Well, it was on point, but then it wasn't, right? And this is, I think, for me, my personal highlight for the day. And because we had such a good relationship with the security, with the police and so on, we got on really well with the head of security. The Scientology hire a private security company to be security for the day. And we get on really well with them. They're private, so they're not Scientologists, but they are hired by Scientology. So when Janet Laveau was getting really angry, she was really annoyed. I spoke to the security, and the head of security for Scientology told me that he had to ask Janet Laveau to leave because she was getting so angry. We then had a debrief later on, and the reason she was getting so angry is because David Miscavige, chairman of the board, personally was giving her hassle, telling her, "This protest needs to stop. Why aren't you trying hard enough? You need to get angry. Like, you need to shut this down now." So David Miscavige, COB, was giving her a load of trouble. She got irate. Security asked her to leave and let us carry on protesting. Yeah. Like, that's for me the sign of success. Yes. That like we actually got into David Miscavige's own personal mind. He knew we were there and he was angry. This was a major flap.
Yeah,
right?
Big deal. And she was on the phone 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like there was never a point where she never phone glued to her ear. So I think we won.
Honestly, I think, and this is what I find so great about this protest is we are only just getting started, right? Like this is the first protest that I've organized. It's the first IAS event in many years. I've only just started speaking out. This is just the beginning, right? And if they think that they are going to get away with half of the stuff they think they are, they have no idea what's coming to them. We are going to kill them with kindness. We are there with compassion. Our message that we want to help you and support you, I think really got through to them.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Like I was literally just going up to the card and like, "How's it going?
Yeah. Have a great event.
Yeah,
have a great event. Keep your credit card safe.
Yeah.
But we hope you have a lovely time. We like your dress. What a lovely dress. What a
there was nice dresses.
Lovely
let me tell
dresses, yeah. And like some people with sparkly trousers, we were complimenting them, like we were killing them with kindness. And I think that got a lot more attention. You know, there were some people who literally walked past with their fingers in their ears, and there were a couple of people less than 10 who, like, you know, gave us a middle finger and said fuck off and all this sort of stuff. But the vast majority of Scientologists, and like we say, about 80%, walked past us and gave us some sort of positive acknowledgement, a smile, you know,
waved.
or a wave.
They waved at us.
Yeah. And we were like, look, we hope you have a good event, guys. And we made it really clear. We're like, look, we are not here to protest you or your beliefs. We are just here to say the abuse must stop. And also, if you need to leave or want to leave, we're here to help you. You know, that message of if Scientology is expanding, why are the orgs empty? I think really got through to a lot of them, and letting them know David Miscavige is wanted in the human trafficking case, and letting them know that, you know, it's not our ethics to put your mental health first. You know, we are here to help. We just want you to be happy. Like, I think that we planted more seeds than I expected we would have.
Yeah. And if we just keep doing it, it's just going to keep growing. I think that the people who are most pissed off, other than Janet, of course. And
she was so angry.
Oh my God.
She was so annoyed.
The locals were livid with the amount of traffic, because this road was jammed. Like when we walked out, there was at least 45 minutes of waiting. At least.
So it was a complete standstill on the entire road, because not only did you have the IAS event going on, there was also things like, you know, the local sports center were giving medicine. The word's difficult on YouTube, but medicine injections that you get, pokey that you get around this time of year. I think we all know what we're talking about now. That was going on. And so a lot of locals were traveling up the road as well to get their jabs. And we were like, they were kind of coming up, they were so angry that the delay and the traffic and all of that. And when they saw us, they were giving us honks, and they were like, yeah, like, fuck Scientology, we hate it. I spoke to so many locals at the pub afterwards who were like, are you for or against Scientology? And I showed them the t-shirt, and they were like, yes, mate, we're so tired of them in this town. The traffic is nightmare. And we were like, look, I think the police also said to me that traffic management was a major safety issue for them. The police were concerned that Scientology hadn't put enough precautions or things in place to manage the flow of traffic. It was not just a major flap for us being there. It was a major flap for Scientology and their relationship with the council and the police, because none of those people are happy with Scientology right now. Because we were just there to highlight where they were going wrong.
Yeah, and we stayed out of the road. We moved our out of the way if cars are coming, and that's not the case for Scientology, because it's hard to describe the amount of traffic that was there.
Yeah.
If you were a local and you were trying to go down that road, you're talking I bet you that some of those guys were waiting over an hour to get from one end to the road to the other. And when they got to that point where they could finally go, the amount of people that just gunned their engine was phenomenal. And it's kind of scary, because obviously it's, it's dangerous.
That's the point as well, is there was so much disruption to the kind of flow of traffic, and it was such a major flap. The event, there is no doubt 100% that the IAS event today started at least an hour late.
At least.
Because
more than that.
There wasn't enough. The people were still waiting to get onto the property. So not only is David Miscavige giving Janet Laveau a hard time because of us protesters making such a noise and such an impact, he's then going to have to be sat backstage and start the event late because of what we're doing. Cherry on top.
But I disagree, though.
Be very angry.
I disagree. I don't think it was because of what we were doing.
You think it's because of their traffic management?
100%. Because even if we weren't there, it would have been shit.
That's true. But I think we did probably cause some sort of slowing down of stuff.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. If we weren't there, it would have been quicker. It still would have started late, but I don't think it would have started as late.
No, for sure.
Because they were messing around playing tricks with things like the coaches. They were early on getting coaches to leave and come back and then go re-enter to make it look like to us that there's thousands of people going there. But we very quickly realized it's the same coaches and they're all empty. They're just going back and forth to make it look like it's busy. But because of that held up the traffic and just made a major mistake. Their actions made the traffic situation worse. And we were just there to highlight it. Honestly, blown my mind.
Well, and with the coaches, there was at least one that we're talking full-size buses here. So probably 50, 60 people at least?
50 people.
Yeah. They let off like 11 people.
Yeah.
2 people, and 2 of them were staff.
Yeah.
Like, and I think the gentleman who was counting.
Oh, those 2 staff.
11 buses.
But those 2 staff were OSA as well. One of them was Stefania, who's the DSA.
Exactly. But we're talking like 11 coaches went by and dropped people off. And they were expecting.
This is the traffic on the main road turning onto St. Hill Road at the end as we were leaving. This is the main road that turns onto St. Hill Road, just to give you an idea of the level of traffic.
And it's kilometers
caused.
Because we walked it all, and we're walking along, and people are stopped. And so obviously they have no choice but to look at us.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Like here, it's going to be hard. I'll upload these videos later, but I'm just going to speed through to give you guys an idea. This is driving past on the way back after the event. You can just see there's like cars upon cars upon cars, right? It was a major, major flap.
I'm chuffed, to use an English word.
Chuffed. Jeff has got more and more British as the day has progressed.
I have gotten a little more British. This has been great. And we do have some comments.
Yeah, let's go through some of the comments. Yeah.
If you guys have any questions specifically, let me know or let us know, and we'll absolutely address them.
Firstly, SP Chef, thank you so much. You two gents and the protest team did rather well indeed.
Yeah. I will say, so this event of ours, not this IAS event, went off so well. There was no like weird violence. There was no issue with police. The security guards loved us, because we were the ones that they weren't having to address and fix our behavior. Everyone was having fun. There was music. There was good chanting. It was all polite. It was phenomenal. So, I mean, kudos to everyone who showed up.
Oh, 100%.
And their behavior was amazing. That's exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
We didn't want any kind of craziness. Yeah, I'm super impressed.
I was a bit kind of cautious, because I was thinking, look, I've come at this with the message of compassion. We want to be helpful and happy and nice and all of this. Like, we don't want to cause a problem, but you can't tell, like, on the day, you never know who's going to show up, what's going to happen. Yeah. And yes, we can approach it with this message, but on the day, is that actually going to happen? And you don't know, and you won't know till the day. And I was massively surprised. There was no shouting at the Scientologist, you're in a cult. There was no Xenu. Actually didn't hear Xenu once.
No.
And I think that alone was a huge thing, because these people are used to hearing the same stuff. And the fact that what we were shouting at them was positive reinforcement. And we literally were shouting at people, we love you. We love you. Like, I think for them, they must go away from this going like, what? It's going to get them thinking, because it's not what they're used to.
Yeah.
And I think that's,
big bad SPs. I mean, they probably just think we're 1-1, but whatever. But yeah, for sure. Mary,
chat. Thank you so much,
Gabriel.
Mary.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all of your support. You're lovely.
Thank you. And also, let's not forget, we're going to be back there tomorrow, right? Yep. So this was the big IAS protest event. There will be less of us on the ground tomorrow and on Sunday, but we will be there for the same chunk of time. In fact, probably a bit longer than today, because we're going to not march. We're just going to arrive there on site. But our presence is going to be known. We'll definitely do more live streams. But this is just the start of the UK fight against Scientology being reinvigorated, for sure. Lumenia thank you so much. Congrats on the successful protest.
I mean, you should be proud. I'm proud to be able to have joined this. That's the important thing. Like, I was thinking to myself as I was on the plane, like, what am I doing? This is a long way to go for a protest.
What are you doing, Jeff?
What am I doing?
What are you doing here?
But then it's just like, and there's a question later that asks if we're nervous. Yeah, of course we were nervous. Like, this is a big deal. And I am so glad I came here. This has been the best decision I made all year. And I'm just going to keep it going. So.
And it's your first time at St. Hill as well.
Oh yeah, my first time at St. Hill. I mean, the funny thing, I was thinking to myself, like, I have read St. Hill, East Grinstead, Sussex, so many times in policy letters, and finally, I feel like I have the mass.
The mass. And, Cara as well. Thank you for joining us, Cara. Cara's one of our protesters on the day. Security Suez hired was so nice too. Even the guys hiding in the bushes.
They were so nice.
God, so they were like security hiding in the bushes behind us, watching us the whole time, and we were like, "Hi guys, hi, how you doing?" Like, they were so nice. The actual Scientology security were definitely not happy, but
they weren't happy. But you know what? It's funny. Like, so I expected this being my first like actual Scientology protests. I've only ever protested psychiatry as a child.
Yeah.
There was like no Sea Org members to be seen, which is phenomenal to me, because I was thinking, oh, there's gonna be Sea Org everywhere watching us and filming us and cam backs and all that stuff.
There was a little bit, like as soon as we arrived at East Grinstead, there was like OSA were there filming us. Like it's like I was surprised that they were so on it. Like I thought we were going to get there, get out the car and sit down, and then within half an hour they'd show up. But no, they were there the moment like we got out of the car, filming as you would expect, and as everyone has seen. Thank you, Mary.
Go Power Thetans.
Go Power Thetans. But no, they were super on it, and there were Sea Org staff around, but it was very much the case of the security Scientology hired were telling them, no, we've got this, we're security, and they've been in trouble before for being too aggressive. So the security that they'd hired were trying to hold them back and say, look, let them protest. They're allowed to. They're on public land, and let's just keep the peace. And it worked really, really well because it allowed us to speak out. So massive kudos to the security guys.
Amazing.
Honestly.
So professional.
Yeah. Plato, question. Did you see expressions on Scientologists' faces said to you they wished they were protesting with you?
Yeah, there was definitely a few times where you got an eye to eye. And you're like, yeah, they're connecting with what I'm saying. I had that a few. Did you have a few like that?
So my auditor walked past, which is quite funny, Anna, and then also Glenn, who she's married to now, who is the course supervisor at the in the academy at London Org. They walked past and I was like, oh my God, Anna, Glenn, hi guys. And they turned around, obviously they recognized my voice and they recognized me and smiled, and then realized I'm wearing a shirt that says Against Scientology and holding a placard. And suddenly their reaction changed and they just completely blanked me. And the best thing was when the London Org coach came. And the two people, Graham and Mariana. Mariana used to be my boss, my senior at the church, sat at the front. I caught their eye, I waved, and they smiled, and then realized what I was doing, and their face just dropped. Like, it was such an interesting thing to experience. But we definitely got through to people. There are definitely people who were like listening to what we've got to say more than I expected. Like, as a Scientologist, I would have I would have responded myself to this protest more than a protest that says, Xenu, you believe in aliens, you're in a cult. Like, it just wasn't that vibe at all.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go with this one because this is perfect. You went to do a thing and we did the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole
That's
track.
what we wanted to do. We didn't want to be like some stupid people outside they just ignore. We wanted to actually make a difference of some sort. Send a message, whatever that message is, and I think we did it.
Yeah,
I think we did it.
Mission
accomplished.
And as I said, we're just getting started, guys. This is only just the beginning. Like, for me, I was really nervous going into this and being like, oh, what am I going to do? Like, am I doing the right thing? I'm very, very nervous. I cannot explain. But coming back, I'm like, this is just invigorated in me how much harder I need to try to do this and do it better. So this is just the start. Like, honestly, I think I just want to hammer that home.
Yeah.
Denise Brown, question, Alex, after all you've done, are you worried about being fair gamed? I'm actually worried for all of you guys. I just love you to death, Alex. I wish you my grandson. Thank you so much. And look, I've already been fair game. I'm on their radar and I have been for several weeks. They were at my house last week. Again, these are all things I've not been able to talk about. I had a private investigator outside my house the other day and follow me around going to the shops, filming me and all sorts. I'm very much on their radar. They've tried to hack into my website 15,000 times in the last month. Like, the fair game has started, but no, I'm not worried because it's like part of the game, right? Like, I know what I'm going in for when I'm starting to speak out about Scientology, and like, I know that that's part of it, and I don't care. I've got nothing to hide. Like, follow me, fine. All I'll do is go to some like funny clubs and stuff that will make them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
Just for fun.
That's the funny thing about when you hear about fair gaming and stuff. Let's take Mark Headley for example.
Yeah,
he's a cracker licker.
We should totally bring crackers tomorrow.
Yeah, just lick them.
Okay, we're gonna do that.
Gives a shit, right? Like, the thing that Scientology, they'll call you out for, like even getting drunk or licking crackers or whatever, going to a gay bar, Like,
they would hate that.
Who cares?
But no one else cares.
No one cares.
They'll create a hate site going like, oh, they went to like a gay bar, or they dressed like this, or they did this. And the wider world don't care. But that's what I mean. Like, we can have fun with it. And so, yes, we are definitely being fair gamed. And we were being fair game from the moment we showed up in East Grinstead today. But no, I'm not worried, because look, if it was someone who'd never been in Scientology or was new to this or didn't know what to expect, it can be very daunting and it can be very, very scary. And yes, there are things that you have to worry about. And yes, they do overstep the line. And it's not something that I want or I'm happy about, but it's something that both you and I know what that package is like, and we know what to expect, and we can put precautions in place to mitigate that risk and make sure that our lives aren't impacted in a negative way. And if they do get impacted in a negative way, we can then swiftly take action, right? This event was organized less than 4 weeks, or about 4 weeks ago, and we managed to make it happen with like almost 50 people. Like, if we have planning and we know what we're doing and we've got enough notice ahead of time, like, this is only going to be bigger next year. And that reminds me, actually, something that I found really interesting. You know how I found out about this 4 weeks ago and applied for the road closure, and the council didn't know, right? The council was supposed to be given 6 weeks notice. They weren't. The security company that Scientology hired, right? They got the phone call asking, can you be here and work for us 3 weeks ago, right? 3 weeks. They were concerned and annoyed at how last minute and rushed this was. And when they showed up, apparently we showed up, and 2 of them were meant to be on break. And because Janet Laveau had a, hissy fit, then they couldn't go on break and they couldn't eat. And the security were like, Alex, you showed up at the worst time, because I haven't had a break now, because I wasn't allowed to go and eat my dinner because you showed up. And I was like, I'm really sorry, but please understand, I announced this protest and the timings 4 weeks ago, before you were even hired to do the job. So if they haven't informed you of that sort of stuff, that's their fuck up. And again, that's what I mean about highlighting their mistakes just by doing things the right way.
Exactly.
It's highly entertaining. I've loved it.
They hired security about 3 weeks ago. For a major event with, according to them, 6,000 people.
There were not 6,000 people there.
No, there would not. But that's what they say.
In fact, there's a question here, actually. I saw it a second ago.
Oh, how many
people there were? Let me bring it up. Here you go. Yeah, Carly Zabetti. What do you think the actual number of attendees was? So I would say 80% of attendees walked past us and we had personal contact with. I'm going to guess about 2,000. What do you think?
Maybe 2,000 to 3,000 most.
I don't think it would. Well, yeah, accounting for all the cars that we went past, and obviously some of them being public and stuff.
And that's including staff.
Oh yeah, including stuff, like easy 2,000, 3,000 max. It was, and this is like the biggest event for Scientology in years. So that's the state of
that's
play.
Very telling.
Genchi, we've shown that one. Thank you very much. John Page, thank you so much. 2 pints of coffees. We will have those pints.
I think so. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
So we did have a really awesome gathering afterwards at a local pub.
Yes.
And it was great. It's one of the cool things about this.
Sorry, just remember.
No, yeah.
Right. When we got everyone a drink at the pub, it was the biggest order they'd ever taken in one go. Like, that's how many people there were.
Yeah.
But the local pub, it was the largest single order of a big group of drinks. Like, sorry, Karen.
That's okay. I just really enjoyed like getting to know these people who are, a lot of them were never in Scientology.
Yeah.
And they have all these personal stories of why they're doing this.
Yes.
And I think, like, just to not to toot my own my channel, but that's what I really want to focus on, is like, why are people fighting in Scientology?
Yeah.
Not just Scientologists, but people who are just like, I really identify with this, whether it's a narcissistic personality relationship with someone or another cult, all that stuff is interesting to me. And so, yeah, it's been so good to get to know people, and you too.
Yeah.
You're okay.
You're okay. Yeah. You're all right. He's all right.
He's all right. Yeah.
He'll do.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And I think for me as well, like, this is just fueled in me. Like, it's made it real, to use the Scientology term, why I'm doing this, why it's important. And it's fueled me to do it harder and better. Like, you shut up.
Rude.
Pause for Andrea had a comment here. PTS for life.
This one here.
Yes.
You know what? Pause for Andrea, and just Andrea. I'll just call you. I love you. You're amazing. Thank you so much for your support. It really is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
It has
so
been great
much.
to hang out with you, buddy. And
Yeah, it's been
I'm
all
looking forward
It's been
to.
all right.
Yeah, it's been all right. Right.
All right.
And yeah, my accent is slowly shifting.
Oh, this is what. Yes,
Oh,
go.
Okay. No, I thought we were gonna
Oh,
chant.
no, I was going to say one of the best things for me that I found highly entertaining was like the main chant was I've like, let's do this and make it as British as possible and just make it funny, right? Because even the British Scientologists will find this funny, and there's no way they can't. Like, I found it fun. I would have found this funny if I was a Scientologist. We were shouting, "Pip, pip, cheerio, Scientology's got to go," right? And I just thought, let's put our mark on it. Let's do the British thing.
Yeah.
And I love it. Was so funny.
It was for me, right?
And then, then you started joining in, and then started speaking like you were from around here somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I just slowly am shifting into it. I'm even saying "mate" all of a sudden.
All right, mate. All right.
Mate.
All right.
All right, mate.
Okie dokie. Barry Stevenson. Question: will this event CS video be available for the public to see in the future? Curious to see if there's any acknowledgement of the protest.
There won't be.
Firstly, there won't be. And secondly, historically, the IAS event has been filmed and put on a DVD that's been shipped out to all of the orgs. So this time next week, there'll be a local event at every single org around the world to show them the video of the event. That won't be made available publicly unless someone gets their hands on a copy, and it certainly won't have any mention of the protest whatsoever. It also won't mention the fact that it started over an hour late because of us.
Yeah.
They'll have no idea.
And anything that David Miscavige
Davey
fucks up on, excuse my language,
they will
refilm it for the general public, which it's something I wasn't aware of until I watched I'm not sure what video I watched.
Me and Rachel
yeah.
Hastings, yeah.
And that's just phenomenal to me. And it's not surprising, but it's phenomenal.
Absolutely. Mary Goff, congratulations to you all. I'm amazed that your voices are going strong. Take care tomorrow.
Barely strong.
It's going, but I do a lot of this sort of shouting stuff in my job anyway at Jury Festival, so I'm used to it. So, but hopefully I'll have a voice tomorrow. Free Shelley Miscavige, any signs Charlie Wackby? No. So I did not see Charlie, but I did see his mum, and I saw a lot of the family. I saw a lot of my close friends that I used to have in Scientology. It was so interesting and funny to see them. We saw Harry, one of the staff members there that's been on the Instagram stuff a lot. However, I do know that a handful of London Org staff arrived at St. Hill yesterday in order to prepare for the event. So a lot of them, like Charlie, I would imagine, would already be inside.
Yeah.
Because he's a big reg. So he would have been in there regging people for money and taking donations before we even arrived. So he would have been there for sure, but he definitely didn't show his face outside.
Yeah. One of the main messages we were sending is please don't give them all your money. Save some for yourself for when you're out.
Yeah. Go on a nice holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
Nonna Lowthorpe, thank you so much for your super chat. Appreciate that. Ms. Fancy Pants, great job, guys. So glad Jeff is there.
I'm very glad to be here.
Thank you. So yeah, it's all right.
Shut
up. Lucy, lovely. Thank you so much. You're so brave. That's Norwegian money. Oh, that's something that happened.
No.
A journalist from Sweden showed up and was doing a live broadcast on a huge news channel in Sweden from the protest, and we spoke to her. It was really fantastic, and they had someone in the studio that was a former Scientologist speaking about what was going on in their story, and filmed it live from outside. She was amazing. It was a 12-minute piece. I'm going to try and grab this footage and I'm going to share it on the channel. I've also got loads of videos that I'm going to share from today, but we just wanted to get home and do this first. Samaya, thank you so much for the super chat. Have you two bonded over being separated at birth?
Actually, can I use your glasses for a sec?
I can't see shit now.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm Alex. Wait. Cheerio. Oh man.
Oh, I love it.
I might have to move here. Andrea,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
sorry.
going to move here. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Rose Petal One Pinchu. Alex, what time are you streaming tomorrow Eastern time? Will we look forward to it? So we've got in straight away. We haven't even had dinner. We have just jumped on a stream. I'm trying to figure out tomorrow. I know the time that we're going to be there, and I know the time that we're going to be protesting from and until. But in terms of live streams and all that sort of stuff, I will let you guys know. It is likely to be, I would say, let's say 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Around then is when we will start to stream, and I'll probably keep the stream on a little bit longer today than today. Sorry, I'll keep it on longer tomorrow than I did today, because it all got fun after I stopped the stream.
Oh, good.
It got dark, and I was like, no one's going to see anything. I'll just stop the stream. But then that's when all the fun started. Yeah. So we'll try and keep it on a bit longer.
I do have some video from today. Yeah. I'm going to sit down and try and edit.
Even though I wasn't streaming, I filmed the whole thing. So there's definitely footage. Danielle Chamberlain Quest, thank you. Firstly, Danielle, thank you so much for your continued support of this channel. Yeah. Danielle bought us all a pint at the pub. She wasn't there in person, but she sent some money towards that. She's been so lovely and such a big support of the channel and of the protest. And Danielle, you are amazing. We love you so much, for sure. Question, what's happening tomorrow, as in what is Scientology doing? So tomorrow during the day, there's like a fundraising event, and then there's the not the charity gala, there's the patrons ball. So tomorrow is when all of the big donors will be joining us at St. Hill and being regged to death. It's the big where the money is made thing tomorrow. So we will try and be there for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Kerry Berry's mom, good work, guys, from an almost in. Thank you, and well done for not falling in. That's narrowed.
Well done.
Narrowly avoided a bullet.
Commendation for you.
Yes. I just get that one because I'm hoping to sort that tomorrow. Donna Rose, do we have to wait a year to protest again? No, we will be there tomorrow
and Sunday.
It's not going to be as big. I don't want to get everyone's hopes up. There's going to be like 10, 15 people tomorrow.
It won't be nearly as interesting, but we will be there.
We'll be there
because
with the same signage.
We need to be there.
The signage, I think, was really powerful.
Yes.
I think visually.
And seeing it 3 days in a row.
It's
gonna be pretty awesome.
It's gonna hit home.
There were some pretty rich people there for sure.
Yeah. With lovely dresses.
Lovely dresses.
Yeah. Sandra, thank you so much for the super chat. We are going to start to wrap up, guys. I've got like 3 questions left, so let's go through these. Sharon Garag, $10. Thank you for all you do. I'm a never in, but I've been speaking out against Scientology for many years. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. Yeah, that's a great one. We'll come to that. That's actually a good one to end on. Plato, pip, cheerio. Aftermath will help you blow.
Nice.
That's tomorrow.
Well, we will definitely, because of your super chat.
Yes,
we will 100%.
Plato, great. Yes, I love it. We gave out so many Aftermath cards today. Like I think it was £270 worth of Aftermath cards printed, like 300 quid's worth of Aftermath cards. Like I would estimate about 1,000 or so. I think. Wow. I'll check the number I ordered. Nice. I think we've got like 200 left. Obviously, some people would have taken them home with them, but mostly we were giving them out to people, in the hotels that everyone is staying in. They're giving them out to people, leaving them on bars and stuff like that, and local businesses. So huge Aftermath push today, which was great. What question did I see Pete Griffith there? Yes, I think he was Pete Griffith there. I don't think he was. John was there. No, Pete Griffith wasn't there. He was going to be there, but unfortunately he couldn't make it, but he did send his best wishes. But we had Stephen Jones, we had Martin Padfield, Billy Drummond was there for a short while, had to leave early. But yeah, there was a really big turnout of some major former Scientology players. So it was a good balance of new and old. Like, this is the thing that's blown me away. Like, the majority of people there have never protested before. They've never spoken out. It is just because of SPTV that they were there, which
I mean, I'm one of them.
Well, there we go. You've flown all the way across the Atlantic.
Only thing I've ever protested was psychiatry. So.
Yes. So last super chat here, and I think this is a perfect one to end on. We had a little bit of a thing happen. While we were at the gate, a Freedom Medal winner was standing there, and we had a bit of a chat with him. We shook hands. He was a lovely guy, and he was then very quickly escorted away by Janet Laveau.
I think that's when she started getting mad, actually.
Yeah, she started getting mad because we were having a full-on conversation with this guy and being really, really nice to him, and he was quite friendly and listening to us. But it turns out he's someone that's quite famous, right?
Yes, yeah.
I didn't really know who this guy was, but
Reverend Alfredi Johnson.
Alfredi Johnson,
yeah, the World Literacy Crusade founder.
Yeah,
and I mean, he's super famous at the very least in Scientology, and he is a well-regarded Scientologist who should not have been talking to us.
So he was standing there by the gates, right? Like basically welcoming people in. Like he was saying hello and welcome and all of that. And I didn't know who he was, but I recognized the name. And afterwards I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then I was like, oh, wow, that's huge. He was standing there. He was shaking our hands, having a chat and saying hello. I think I've got him on some video footage, pretty sure.
Nice.
I'll have to try and dig it out. And then Janet Laveau came up and like quickly escorted him away.
So I think his post, like he's a front person, like he's a PR person. They trot him out whenever they need to do big events, raise money.
Literally, they trotted him out and then trotted him off. and
I think the fact that we decided to move closer, because that was right after we moved closer. His whole job for the night was probably to like start greasing the palms of these people, and clearly we screwed that up.
Yeah. Absolutely. And look, I think I'm just going to say it one more time. The icing on the cake for me was the fact that David Miscavige was personally giving Janet Laveau a hard time because of our protest. That's how much of a major flap this was. We will be back tomorrow. We will be back on Sunday, and we will be back next year. And as I said, if you are worried about this Scientology, you very much should be, because we are only just getting started. Thank you so much.
See you soon.